this week we're going to have a little bit of fun using some AI modules and AI tools, and hopefully take some of that learning that you did in the first week from that Khan Academy video that I think is just an eye-opener and really just a way to show us that education and what our students are going to have available to them in the next 10, 15 years is just crazy. And so I'm very excited to see what that means for me as a teacher and what that means for my students and my kids and what they're going to grow up with, what tools they're going to be able to have to personalize their learning. And so we're just going to use a little bit of the tools today to have a little bit of fun, because I think that ChatGPT and Google Gemini and some of those tools can be really fun to use, not just work or learning. So we're going to do a little bit of that today and go through. I know some of you have used AI tools. Some of you are very new to AI tools. And so we're going to just see what we can do and then expand on those a little bit more and create a lesson that we can utilize, or lessons that we can utilize in our classroom. So first of all, just to show you some things that are kind of a fun thing to know about what ChatGPT can do or any of the AI tools, is I went ahead and searched for summarize this YouTube video, and I pasted in the title and the link to the YouTube video you guys watched. So that Khan Academy, how can AI save education? And so because I asked for it to summarize it, I have gotten, numbered points and bullets for kind of an overall summarization of that video. And I think this would be a fantastic resource for you as a teacher if you're going to have your students read something or watch something and you need some of the kids to have a little bit more information, or you need to have guided notes or things. You can ask ChatGPT to help you by just pasting in that YouTube link, and they can help you. And so we're also going to see how I got your questions for you to answer. So give me 5 questions. Oh, we're going to be a little bit delayed. Questions about the video. And so then now they're going to populate some questions about the video that you guys watched. And so some of these might be ones that I used. I did this when I was creating your assignment. Now I didn't copy and paste them word for word. Some of them I changed, some of them I had to modify. But for me, it's a starting point. I feel like my how I look at a blank page is very scary, and I think that's very scary for our kids. And so these are ways to get some information and starting points for what you're going to do for your assignment, for your paper, and things like that. And so as long as you have a very good guide for what your students can and can't do with AI in your classroom, I think these are going to be some really good ways for them to be able to get information or get starting points on some of their stuff. Okay, so that's one thing. Let's look at another way. So I have a computer lab of 18 computers in here, and sometimes our internet goes down. And so I don't know what to do with my graphic design students when we don't have internet. So I thought I would ask ChatGPT. So give me an activity. Obviously I can't type too fast here. Activity I can do with my graphic design students when the internet is down and we cannot access Photoshop. And so let's see what we can come up with here. So they could design a magazine by hand, and they could, paper pencil assignment. This is perfect. And it even gives you, how you can grade it, the brainstorming, really broken down into a well-developed lesson that I could have, had ready to go for my students the day the internet's down. And so these are some activities that you could utilize, or some ways that you can get something if you just know, oh, this lesson is going the wrong way. What's something we can do to kind of guide it back in the direction we want, or to change things up? So that is a way to get a, hands-on activity that really would fill up my whole class period, even though we don't have internet. Okay, so let's write an email to a parent about a student who had an amazing day in class today. Let's see what we come up with here. So your child's wonderful achievement in class. And I love when ChatGPT gives us fill in the blanks, and you can specifically ask for that too. So if you want to create an introductory email, or something you're going to use, like let's say you're going to have a field trip, and you can have it come up with something that gives you the fill in the blank availability. And so they have student's name, the different pronouns and things that they're going to use here. So you could copy and paste this email and then utilize it in the way that you need to throughout the school year, or just for different students. Maybe this is something you can utilize and modify and change up for those different students. So definitely a fun way to be able to make a very quick email that you just have to modify just a little bit. Okay, so here's another way that you as teachers could be creating things for individualized students. My daughter went through speech classes for her entire elementary career, and she struggled with the R sound for a very, very long time. And so something that we wished we had back when she was a second, third grader was a way to create stories that she could read out loud, or short, brief readings that she's interested in. And so that wasn't just, the normal stories you read. So I thought I would try. So write a paragraph for my daughter who loves softball, Taylor Swift, and includes a lot of R sounds. So then already, Rachel, remarkable, star was a very hard word for her to say when she was younger, and even, as she's working on it now. And so you can see how amazing that would be to create something for your students, for a kid in your class that needs an extra reading activity, an extra, specific activity that they would like to be able to do that has it geared to their interests. And so I think these are just some really fun ways to see how we would be able to utilize all these different features of AI to be able to get instant, ideas, questions, and so on and so forth. And so I think that's just a really awesome way to show you what this can do for you as a person and as a teacher. So hopefully with the next couple assignments, you're going to have a little bit of fun. You're going to copy and paste some prompts that I wrote, and then you're going to read an article about how to write prompts, or what I'm typing into the ChatGPT. I think we did, 5-10 years ago, we were learning how to Google search the correct way, and now we're going to have to learn how to use AI the correct way. And we're going to have to be able to make those prompts written out specifically with, asking for exactly what you wanted. I wanted a paragraph. I did not want a page-long paper for her to read. And so being able to tell it what you want is very important. And then you can even ask for it in like a point of view. And that was one more thing that I was going to do. I was going to switch over to Gemini, because I'm using ChatGPT here. Google Gemini is another resource that used to be Google Bard, and now it's Google Gemini. And so I was going to say, in the voice of a pirate, give me an email to my boss about losing my classroom keys. And so we'll see. Blimey, I lost the keys to the treasure chest. So hopefully you can see how much fun this could be. I know I've had times where I've used it to write poems and clues for people to find things. And so you can really have a lot of fun with the voice option. But then again, we're doing fun things. You can spin that to your classroom, and you could have it write a paper for your student from the voice of George Washington, or from the tone of, an astronaut. And so I think those are some really cool features of what we can get and be able to have, very quickly. And again, you can modify this to how you need it, but I think it's a very fun way that you can do that. And so those are different ways that you can write those prompts. When you're giving it voice, you're being specific, you're asking for exactly what you want, and then you can also modify that even more. So it keeps what you've written up here, and you can change your original prompt. So I can say, make it shorter and include that I had a rabbit foot keychain on my keys. And see if we can make it a little bit shorter, and then it's going to talk about the dang rabbit root keychain. And so because I typed it wrong. I put rabbit root instead of rabbit foot. So obviously I need to work on my typing while I'm being recorded skills here. But anyways, those are some ways that you can change and modify your prompts and your different features of the AI. So hopefully you will enjoy a couple of the fun assignments that you're going to do this week with, copying and pasting in the prompts, editing the prompts that I've given you to be more specific and be more, give you some more detailed information. And then I'm going to let you utilize what we've learned here to create an assignment for your classroom. So coming up with a lesson or an activity that AI helps you produce. And so you can, copy and paste that out and modify it to fit your needs.